Alright, you ready? Give me one more mic check.
Hey, this is Vinny G, the man with the plan, out of sight and in the groove, a really modern kind of guy.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, we're talking about Frankenstein, the movie, up next on Geek Out SA.
Do not attempt to adjust your YouTube video. We control the stream.
Never mind. Shh.
What?
I didn't do something wrong. It's
What?
fine. No.
What happened?
I'm not going to tell you. Go.
You had it on mute?
Shut up. Go.
So we're back.
Okay, look. You flubbed the intro, so it's okay if I flubbed the sound, okay?
Yeah, but at least my sound could have been vocal. And they could have heard me flub it, so they didn't hear me flub it.
No, they heard you flub it. Like, I had it on.
How?
I had the sound on, and then I muted for the intro, like you always tell me to do.
Well, I never talked during that. Anyway,
I know, but anyway.
we're talking about the latest Frankenstein.
But can you check it for me really quickly? Because I'm still just seeing starting soon. So can you check it on YouTube for me really quickly? I know there's always
Did you go live?
Yes. And on my side on OBS it says in broadcast. But I want you to check on it for me. We're figuring things out tonight.
Well,
So,
we shouldn't figure that out.
I get to be the hostess with the mostest now. So tonight we're going to be talking about Frankenstein the movie. We're actually going to talk about the newest one, the Guillermo del Toro. So if you've seen any of his movies before, one of his most well-known is Pan's Labyrinth. So I was kind of expecting that same kind of twist for Frankenstein.
Yeah,
See?
it's not on there anymore.
Nothing's happening, right? It just says starting soon? Or it's just
No,
my
it's
side?
on.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead, Dad. Let's go. All right. So here's Vinny and I. We're gonna figure this out sometime tonight. There's something wrong on my side. Like, it's just showing that nothing's happening. So
She forgets everything all the time, every week. That's what I'm saying. One of these days we need I wish we had Stuart back. And then
yeah, me too.
we'd have a... Except he never dealt with this whole setup that we have now.
Yes.
No, we didn't have these cameras.
Oh no, we didn't have these cameras.
No.
And he used to sit this way.
Yeah.
In the studio because I was over there and you were over there and he was here, and then he had his whiteboard and he would tell us 5 minutes, 2 minutes. So, oh my God, that was really echoey. Let me turn mine down because I get really excited and then I'm loud.
So one of the things that we have going on is we're kind of we have 1, 2, and 3. 3 is what we think the cue up for 3.
Oh.
If you cue that up,
Like,
this is what we ordinarily think of as Frankenstein, which was the original movie Frankenstein.
okay, here we go.
The original movie Frankenstein.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes.
So that's what I remember watching these on. Well, I don't know if you call it reruns, but.
Well, that was like 1974 or something like that.
No, that was.
It was even
It
older
was
than
black
that?
and white. It was like in the 40s.
Was it really that
Yeah.
long ago? Doesn't seem like things were that long ago. But yeah, where he's all
Yeah.
that whole thing, yeah. But a lot of people think of Frankenstein like that, and
It's
and
different.
They think that Frankenstein is the name of the creature, of
Yes.
the monster.
Yeah.
But Frankenstein is the name of
Yeah,
the doctor.
doctor that makes the monster.
Yeah.
Or later on, he's referred to as Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, and I don't remember, because I read the book about 1,000,000 years ago. And
But in the first movie, they never called him Frankenstein.
I don't, do they, what,
I think they just call him the monster.
the monster, right? Because I think that's what Mary Shelley calls him in the book, if I remember correctly. Or maybe she calls him the creature. I don't remember. But we do see that a lot of these iterations, even that first iteration like that, tries sort of to stay close to the book. We see some similarities.
In the original?
Yeah, as far as like the old man and...
We get more of a story from it, because in the original movie, you kind of just... And what I should have done is brought up a lot of the clips from the old movie, because we can use those because they're public domain. But I'm pretty sure that they're that old.
I don't know. I would have to look. That was something I didn't research before we got on here. I was just thinking about this one, this movie. But what were you going to say before you said that you were going to show the clips? You were saying something about...
So, yeah, I wanted to show the clips so we can show it, so we can kind of like go through, because within that movie, it's like you feel like you're there for just like a day, if that.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're not going through like a time period of
months.
Right.
Like you are.
Right.
In the
It
movie.
happens like super quick and everything. Even in the comedy version with Gene Wilder and everything, you get to see some progression of young Frankenstein, of where he's, he comes to life, and then he's trying Frankenstein and roll and roll and roll in the hay. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But you get to see him like, it means glue in German. That's why they neigh. But you get to at least see horse hooves.
Horse hooves
for glue.
Glue.
That's why they neigh. You get to see him like try to teach him. Even in the comedy version, you get to see these iterations every time of him trying to teach him something.
Right.
So in that first one, yes, it's like it happened, all that happened in 24 hours. At least in Young Frankenstein, you're getting to see a little bit more of an expanse, right? Yeah. Where he's trying to teach him and teach him.
Well, he's like, the monster is hiding for like maybe 2 weeks. There, it feels like 2 weeks. You don't get an exact timeline of what it is, but it feels about like 2 weeks. And then, because I think some of his sons or something are the ones that initially shot him before he came to hide out at that house.
You lost me. Who's hiding out at the house? The monster?
The monster.
The monster had sons, or some of Victor's sons?
No, some of the old man's sons.
Oh, in this current movie.
In this current movie.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
So his sons are the hunters.
Right.
In this current movie.
Right.
The old
and
man.
he runs into him beforehand.
Yes. Because they're out on the hunt, and he doesn't understand anything on the outside world.
Right.
Yeah. So let's backtrack, because Vincent lost me there, and I'm sure he lost you too. So in the newest one, in the Guillermo del Toro, you see it for an extended period of time. You get to see Victor, and it's very true to the book, where Victor is there on the ship out in the ice, and he's telling his story. So that's how the book begins as well. And so you get to see this, and then Victor backtracks and tells us more about his father and stuff, which is, as far as I remember, it's not quite that extensive in the book. You don't get that sense of his dad, but he does, kind of lean into that and say, well, his hubris, his
because
narcissism
it
comes
kind of
from.
shows you why he becomes who he is.
Yeah, so we get to see all this backstory on Victor of why he's obsessed with death, why he wants to beat death, and they've taken liberties, obviously, in the movie of why all this happens, but we see
It makes sense.
It makes sense, though, and so we see all this previous life of his that leads him to here, and then we get to see his benefactor,
Right.
who you don't know at first why this man wants to be the benefactor. And then you find out a little bit later on, but I don't want to ruin too much of it because that was kind of a good plot twist-ish kind of thing. And so his benefactor is giving him money. Well, now that he has this unlimited amount of money and resources, now he can put this small time bringing things back to life, but in a much grander scheme. So that's where we get him, then he's starting to build the monster, and
Right.
and they're robbing graves and stuff like that. So and so a lot of that we've seen in every single iterations, because obviously the story that Mary Shelley wrote is the story that Mary Shelley wrote, right? So everybody's kind of following that story path along. So there's not a difference in that story path. Like, you get there, he makes the creature comes to life. There's some iteration of him trying to connect with the creature and stuff, and we can talk about that.
This is the first time we get the ship, though.
This is
in any of the movies. You don't ever get to see the ship part.
We didn't see that even in the there was one in like the 90s that I thought was like super close to the book. We didn't see the ship in that one. I thought we did.
No.
Well, the ship is very true to the book. Like, that's how the book starts. That's how the original novel starts. And so where Vincent came in just a little bit ago is, fast forward, he's made the creature gets away from him, and he doesn't know the world. Victor hasn't given him the opportunity to know the world, explore the world, or anything like that. And so he's out in the woods, kind of shambling around, and these hunters are out there trying to hunt, and they see this big, hulking, pale guy, and they shoot at him.
Yeah.
And they get him, but he regenerates. And I don't remember if that's true from the book or not. I really should go back and read this book. But he regenerates, and so he stumbles along, and he ends up going and hiding out in this barn mill kind of combo area. Well, it ends up being where the hunters live, but it's also where the nice old man, the blind man, lives, and the blind man becomes his friend because obviously he's blind, and so he can't tell anything about the creature. He doesn't know, anything about him. So they befriend him, and we get that even in Young Frankenstein. We get that part in Young Frankenstein where he goes and does that.
But you get this whole montage of where he's going through and he's being taught by the old man, which we haven't gotten to see because he learns his speech from somewhere.
Well, and then in this, we see a lot more of the creature's perspective, right? We get to see his transformation. We hear him. At first, we're seeing the world, and we understand the world, but we also understand that he doesn't understand the world, that he doesn't have the words for the world, right? He doesn't know. And so then we get to see him growing in his vocabulary and his understanding. And
it's like a child growing up.
Yes, and that's what makes this even more heart-wrenching, is because Victor makes him, and Victor has the opportunity, because Victor has the education, to love him and to create him into something, someone, but Victor always sees him as an experiment. And he sees him as an experiment that's gone wrong. Because in Victor's mind, he just is going to have this brain and all these parts of these people, and he's just going to kind of come to life, and he's just going to automatically be human.
Yeah, and speak and walk and do everything he needs. He can. Victor can do.
Right. And Victor should have known. And I know their medical research wasn't the same back then, but it's like having somebody who had a stroke or had brain damage or something like that. You've just got to reteach them. And he does try to teach him, but he has no patience or kindness.
Right.
And so he's just yelling at this experiment, basically, like, you know, you need to get it together, say something besides Victor, like.
But you also have to take it in part, he was like cast out of the scientific community. Victor was during this whole process, before he even made the monster.
Right.
Because
so he's
he reanimated half of a body.
Right. Right, and he's trying to prove himself, right? He wants the ultimate experiment to go right, because then he feels like, I can take this man back to the medical community and be like, nah, 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 I told you my experiment works. And so, yeah, I mean, yes, you know that's why he's doing it, but also they play it just right in this movie where you feel pain for the creature because of the way Victor is. Like, before there have been iterations, and even in the book, the creature's not really something that you think of as someone, because it's just these broken parts of people that have been dug up, and a lot of times they weren't, you know, nice people.
Right.
And so he's more, I wouldn't say he's malevolent. He's just more of an it, I guess.
Yeah, he treats them as a thing.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it is, I think, if I remember correctly, even in the book. Even as the creature kind of grows and stuff, you don't ever get this kind of personal connection that you do to it that you get in the movie. And that's
kind of the thing with a scientist, because you have, with as being a scientist, you have to take your feelings out of the equation. But when you're dealing with a human body, that's a different thing.
Well, and it was hard for Victor to take his feelings out of the equation, because, I mean, the way that they wrote this is because his feelings led him to the equation. So, you know, if his mother hadn't died, and if he hadn't have missed her so much, and if he hadn't have wanted to bring her back, and if he hadn't have had a father that had all this knowledge of the human body, and if he hadn't have gone into medicine like his father, like, it showed us that this thing had to lead to this thing that had to lead to this thing. So he had an emotional investment in this experiment to begin with, and then he was also a narcissist. So it was just a bad combination of, here's this guy who believes that we can be gods if we want to, believes that we can bring people back because he so desperately wants to bring someone back, and then believes that everything he does should just be fantastic. And so it's a perfect storm, basically. Right. And then, of course, we add in the King Kong effect, and
How
we
so?
have to
King
add
Kong.
in we have to add in the beautiful damsel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right, that the big monster falls for. Yeah. That everyone falls for. And then I really do need to go back and read the book, because I don't remember in the book if she has feelings, because in the movie, if you haven't seen it yet, because it's on streaming, but you should definitely go see it. But if you haven't, in the movie, Victor has a brother. Victor's brother has a fiance. Victor falls for Victor's brother's fiance. his brother's fiance falls for Victor's creature. It's a whole convoluted thing.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that she falls for the creature.
She feels for him.
She feels for him, but she also wishes that she could go back to that time of innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's been part of this world of men and ideas and thoughts and money and all this stuff, and the creature just sees the world very simply. You know, right. It's pain or it's pleasure, it's beauty or it's ugly. Like, she wants to go back to something gentler like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, she ends up getting hurt, which then lets the creature see that side of what Victor saw of, now there's somebody that I loved very much, because he comes to love her, and she's dead. But right. Now I know my maker can bring people back to life, or can make people. And so, by God, he's going to make me somebody, mm-hmm. so that I don't have to be alone forever. So...
Because he made him, because you come to see that he made him not to die, like ever.
Well, but I don't think Victor knew that to begin with. I don't think Victor knew that that was going to be a byproduct.
When he was asking for the companion, he did.
Oh, by the time he asks for the companion, yes. Yeah. But when Victor originally made the monster, he didn't know that this eternal life was going to be something that he had.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, here we've got this, you know, basically Wolverine.
But because he did, like, cut his hand, though, and then it regenerated.
Yeah, but be able to heal, like, quickly might not mean you can live. Like, take a bullet. There's something, you know, there's, like, getting a cut and healing really quickly versus taking several bullets.
I remember he thought he was going to die when he got shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he came to find out that nothing happened. It's all healed up.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, he gets, like, I mean, and it's kind of funny / tragic, I guess, the way they go after each other. So there comes a time, you know, that leads us to the boat that we start at. And so Victor has come to see the creature as an abomination. He sees him much earlier in the movie as an abomination and thinks that he's destroyed him, which he hasn't. And so then he starts coming in contact with him more and more and more and more. And he keeps trying to destroy the creature, and he can't be destroyed. And the creature is angry with him because he did leave him to be destroyed, and he never really tried to teach him or gave him the kindness that this blind man did. And so, and he's angry with him because the girl gets killed. It's just this whole thing. I don't want to tell you too much, but anyways, they're angry at each other. And so they're going back and forth, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna shoot you. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna blow you up. Like, it gets to like, you know, the nth degree. But it's kind of comedic, but also really sad as well.
Yeah.
Like you just want, I think to an extent, you just want Victor to say, like, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done this. And I understand why he doesn't want to go try again and make a female version.
At least treat him like a human being at this point.
At this point,
and
right.
he doesn't to the end.
At the very, very, very end.
He comes to the understanding.
He comes to the understanding that the creature has evolved, I guess, into a man per se. Yeah. and he realizes that he missed out on all this opportunity. And he realized he didn't see this person that saw the world anew and could have had so much potential, and is now just angry and gonna have to wander the earth forever by himself, basically.
Yeah.
So it's very tragic. I thought that it was done very beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean,
This has got to be the best.
like, I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I am
Way better than the Andy Warhol one.
Yeah. I am
Which was really weird.
sad and glad at the same time that it's already out on streaming. Like, I
Yeah.
feel sad because I feel
Like,
like
we
the
just
movies
saw
are
this
dying.
last week
Yeah, like
at the
2
theater.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's already, as of, I think, today.
Yeah. Or this, like, Friday or whatever.
Yeah. It's on Netflix. But I didn't, I think we didn't find out about it till later, till it was already out. They didn't really push it.
Well,
I
I
don't-
don't know.
I
The
don't
theater
remember
was
seeing
pretty
them push it.
packed when we went.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think
But it was
had,
like right before Halloween.
Yeah, but I don't know that it had come out that much earlier. But yeah, it's a shame that it was only at the theater for that long and then it's already on streaming.
Yeah.
It always makes me sad because I love the movie theater, and I just don't know how much longer they can hold on. So
Hopefully.
I mean, maybe
Crossing our fingers.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they keep sending these to streaming and they're making a ton of money on the streaming, they can still justify, you know,
Keep doing popcorn buckets.
yeah, stuff like that to try
Those
to
are
get
the
people.
worst things. They look cool, but they're so tiny. I was like, well, you can't fit any popcorn in there.
You're like,
What's
but
the
I
point?
just
Do you
want
give me a
some.
bucket with it?
Then yes.
Then yes.
Then I'll do it. Yeah, so I don't know. I would like for theaters to stay. I would like, especially for theaters for movies like this. This was beautifully done. The actor who plays the monster, the
Oh, and
creature,
then
whatever.
he is Q up too.
So beautiful makeup.
Yeah.
The makeup is fantastically done, very believable. This young man is a giant of a human being. He is, I think I looked it up, and he's like 6'5", 6'7", something like that. He's extremely tall, which you need because he is this hulking, you know, creature, right? Because Victor's used all of these body parts from these big hulking people so that he can have these bigger neurons and everything. It's the whole science behind it, but it's not real science. But anyway, so this kid is really tall, very tall and lanky, and at the beginning when he's just the creature, like, he doesn't really have any clothes on. He's just got like a loincloth, you know, and he's kind of Gollum-esque. But still very huge and very, very foreboding. And then he gets this big cloak that he wears that makes him even look like bulkier. But to me, it seemed like they really used the camera angles to give us good height for him,
Right.
to make
him look even taller.
Made him seem like more menacing. Because he's a real thin young man. But once he had the cloak and once they did the camera angles, like, he was very menacing. And if people are watching and if they notice when he's like starting to learn from the old man and he's like up in the rafters and stuff like that, he doesn't have the cloak on. They soften him by taking some of that away from him. And so it's interesting to me to look at movies, I guess, because we've been watching them for so long, and to look at them not only from the lens of the storytelling, but also the lens of the cinematography and the makeup.
Right.
And I think some of the makeup, too, comes from, you and I have watched a lot of those shows, Face Off and
Face
stuff
Off.
like that, where they do makeup challenges and stuff. And then didn't you talk to that one man from here, Sergio or something like
Yeah,
that, who did
yeah,
makeup as well?
we did.
Yeah, we talked to him as well. So we've seen some of that kind of aspect of it as well. So it's just always interesting to look at. I mean, one of Vincent's like favorite movies of all time is the original Evil Dead. And it's not scary, but it is scary because of the cinematography.
Yeah.
It's the way they do the cameras and stuff that creeps you the heck out. Like, it's super creepy. And so, again, it gives you that sense of this creature that's like looming over you that could potentially break you into a million tiny little
That you
pieces.
can't, in some cases, that you can't see.
Yeah. And that you can't stop.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. Like, he's been shot, he's been laid out in the freezing cold to die. Like, no, there's nothing you can do. Like, he is coming for you. And so they give you a lot of that kind of sense as well, that he's coming for you, you know. And I think it's also a good look at like the way people with money treat things.
Right.
Treat other people, or like, I mean, I guess like Victor had money because his dad was a physician and his dad had money and all this stuff.
It was stepdad, right?
No, it was his dad.
It was his dad?
I thought it was.
No,
it was his stepdad. It was his stepdad. That's right.
That's
he
why
was dark and stuff, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And then he gets all this money from this benefactor, and so he's not had to really work for it. So he's got this shiny new toy, but it doesn't really matter if he breaks it because somebody's gonna come and fix it for him, and he can keep playing. You know what I mean? So it's this like, oh well, I have a lack of consequences ideology, and so Victor continues to go through with all of his interactions as though there are no consequences.
Right.
We see kind of a moment where Victor kind of thinks of his consequences when he's falling for his brother's fiance and he's taking it too far. He kind of almost shows that he understands.
That part, and then when what's his name dies and falls.
Oh. But is that really
the one that was supporting the experiment?
Not that with his brother's fiance, it's that he sees that he will have consequences that will hurt someone else, that his actions will hurt someone else. When the benefactor falls, the only consequence he sees is, I'm going to have a consequence. Right. He doesn't see anybody else but himself. And I think that's a lot of the storyline, and if I remember correctly, that's a lot of the storyline in the book as well, is just this man who thinks he is a god, and he doesn't care who he steps on. And so it's how those things fall into place. And so the thing is
marrying current events.
Right. But the thing, if I remember correctly, is by the end of the story, and again, by the end of the movie, you have to ask yourself, who's really the monster? Is the monster actually Victor? And I think this movie does a good job in laying that at your feet and basically saying, yeah, the monster was Victor all along.
Yeah.
The true monster was Victor, not his creation.
I think we've seen that in the later movies more so than we did with the original movie that came out. So
yeah, with some of these later ones, we do get to see more of that. Because in the very, very original one that we showed at the beginning, the Q that we did earlier, yeah, he's more of like just like a bad scientist, right? He's just like, he's trying to do the impossible. They're still in awe of science, right? And as we move forward into, you know, the 90s and the 2000s and stuff, when we're making these movies, we've got science that's big enough that it's not the science that we're in awe of. It's this the human nature, and are men unequivocally evil, like, you know, and then this whole idea of can you be born evil?
Yeah.
Because yes, this is a creature of things that was sewn back together, and it's other people, but really you look at it as he's reborn as a new person.
But doesn't it also give you, because I mentioned current events, but it's like several things within that, even what I'm considering it as like AI. We've given life to AI, and people hate AI, but it's something that we created.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We think that people think AI is the monster.
yeah. And I think it very well could be, depending on whose hands it's in.
Right.
So there we are again. In Victor's hands, he becomes the monster. When he's around Victor, he's the monster. And yet when he's with the young girl, well, she's not young, she's too young to meet. When she's with the young lady and with the blind old man, he's not the monster. He's just a nice person. He's a nice, curious person who wants to be loved and feels like he could maybe love somebody in return.
Right.
Right? And so I think that comes back to the nature versus nurture as well.
And this one, the old man isn't killed by him.
No. And again, I really need to read this book because I don't remember. I don't remember if the old man dies at his hand or not. It's in the 1950s or whatever that first movie is that he accidentally knocks over something and sets the house on fire, right?
Yeah.
And the old man can't get out or whatever. Does that happen in Young Frankenstein as well?
I think he like bonks him over the head because he lights his thumb
on fire and stuff. Putting on the roots. Now I want to go watch that again.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we need to have like a Frankenstein marathon and see like some of the other.
But not the Andy Warhol.
I don't even know if I ever saw the Andy Warhol one. Maybe.
It's awful.
It was awful.
Yeah. I think they did like a 3D thing on there, but it was awful and gory.
I remember the one from the 90s like vaguely seemed similar to this one. Not quite. They didn't quite get it as beautifully as this one.
Well, because this is a longer movie.
Yeah, you don't realize that it's longer though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It
keeps
it
you.
goes the whole time. It
Yeah.
flows the whole time, and it's really good. And you're invested, like the whole time. So, I thought it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
I'll enjoy watching it again
I will watch it again
on
for
Netflix.
Sure. Yeah. On
But yeah, it's out already on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, go and see it. And I think it's still out in the theater too.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think our my son is gonna go see that tomorrow.
Oh, he is?
Mm-hmm.
Our son's going to leave the house?
Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah, they're going like on with one of Tori's friends.
Nice. And he leaves the house more.
Sometimes.
That's okay. We're going to go to the movies probably tomorrow to see the new Predator.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Badlands.
It looks good.
It looks really, really
It looks
good.
really good.
Now, I just saw like a timeline to watch the Predators in order. I don't know if I don't think we have time to watch all of them.
Well, maybe we could do it all, and then we could go after work one day on a date.
Yeah.
We can do that.
But yeah, that was Frankenstein 2025, Guillermo del Toro, Oscar Isaac. which is probably most notable on there, other than his dad, which I forget his name, but he was like in Game of Thrones. He's always a bad guy. But that was it. We'll be here again next week talking about something or other. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
And I'm Colleen.
Stay
Geek Out.
geeky.
What?
Bye.
Bye.